Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you're all having a fantastic Christmas. I thought we would just have a little bit of fun today and put together a kit and chat. So what we've got here is this Christmas tree kit that was sent to us by our good friend, Jim. I'm going to reveal Jim's last name because he didn't tell me I could. So, we are going to build this little kit here. There doesn't seem to be much going on with it. We got some capacitors, some resistors, and no instructions whatsoever. But that shouldn't stop us now, should it? No. Okay. We've got some pictures on the back. I think we'll be okay to make this work. Let's start by figuring out which is which when it comes to our resistors. Now, you should be able to read those. They're 1 or 100 K, I think, or maybe 10. Hey, guess what? They're a power of 10. So let's just double check what we got here. Come on. Play nice. So that's our 10K. That's what I thought. This should be our 100K. Or 1K as the case may be, I guess, maybe. Yep, 1K. Then we have a special one, because there's always a special one, right? Looks like 2K. Okay. So, Miss Moneypenny. We've got transistors. 1, 2, 3. We've got resistors. Some don't tell me the values, though. Dagnabbit. Well, I guess if they're not the 10Ks, then they're probably the 1Ks. Okay. Let me get set up and we'll get started. So, while I'm working on this, and it's Christmas, why don't we talk about Christmas traditions? My family is about half Italian. My grandfather's parents came here from Italy. So we celebrate an Italian Christmas tradition called the Feast of the Seven Fishes. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with that, if you're of Italian heritage. Starts off with fish soup and smelts and perch and all that kind of fun stuff. And that's generally done on Christmas Eve, except in the last few years we moved it up a day or two to whenever it's convenient for everybody, you know, in this day and age to get together. Sometimes you've got to move your traditions around just a little bit, you know. Alright, I'm going to solder these in. I got the resistors in the first half of the tree in, and I got the 10K resistors in the second half of the tree. And I'm looking, everything matches up except R7 up there. That's our odd one. So I'm assuming that's going to be our 2K. Of course, I could be entirely wrong. It's happened before. Like when I predicted the Steelers would beat the Saints. Of course, I still believe the Steelers beat the Saints, but could not beat the Saints and the referees at the same time. So, now the Steelers' playoff fate is in the hands of the Browns next weekend, which I'm actually feeling great about. The Browns this year are not the Browns of years past. I mean, they are an actual football team. Who'd have thunk it? I'm not a Cleveland Browns hater like some Steelers fans. I'm not saying I'm better than other Steelers fans. I'm just not a Browns hater. Certainly hate the Bengals and the Ratbirds. So, pardon me. So there's that. Probably the reason I don't hate them is I don't actually consider them to be the Browns. The Ratbirds are the actual Browns. I think it was 1988 or 88, 89, somewhere in there, that the real Browns basically went out of business, and there were no Cleveland Browns for a couple years. Then the owner popped up in Baltimore and said, "Hey, we're not the Browns anymore, we're the Ravens." Anyway, oh, look at that. No, está bueno. Yeah, my son's in his first year of Spanish classes, so I am definitely practicing my Spanish again to try and motivate him to learn Spanish. I mean, it is probably the most widely spoken language en todo el mundo. So about 7:30 or so, the old man would signify that it was okay to come downstairs. He'd have some coffee poured for my mom, and my sister and I would tear into our presents. And then, of course, you know, there was the mess. We had to clean up our messes. Yeah, no problem there. And we always went to church on Christmas Eve so that they could cook breakfast for the rest of the family who would go to Mass on Christmas morning. Then they would come over and we would all have a Christmassy breakfast. And of course, my dad had 9 brothers and a sister, so after that breakfast, we would go visiting the other relatives for the rest of the afternoon. Until dinner time, in which case we went to my great aunt and uncle, who are also my godparents, my sister's godparents, and my son's godparents. And they had Christmas dinner. So tell me, what are any of you guys Christmas morning and Christmas Day like? All right. So now we're putting in some LEDs. And this is going to be entirely random. I am not testing them beforehand. I am just grabbing them. I'm also making an educated guess as to what is the anode and what is the cathode. Ow. I also have a nose injury. You know, as we men get older, we get nose hair. So I ordered a nose hair wax removal kit. You won't be finding that in my store anytime soon because, like I said, it left me with an injury. Not from ripping the nose hair out. That was fine. It was from shoving hot burning wax up my nose. nose hole, nostril, or as my son used to say when he was little, my nozzle. So yes, now I face Christmas with singed nasal cavities. Ay caramba. Well guys, it's the day after Christmas now, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to finish this in time to get this video out for Christmas, but the way things have been around here, my time is not my own anymore. So some things come sooner, and some things come later. But in time, all things do come. So, I got both sides soldered up. Give it another little test here. Make sure all our blinkies are blinky, and they are. And then we can slide together two parts of the tree and fit them into the base. Alright, that was a little harder to solder than I thought, but still came out pretty nice. Now we will go up the switch. Then we'll hook up the battery. And we should be ready to roll. See, I'll put the battery compartment on next. Well, friends, there it is. A Christmas tree for a Christmas time. Big thanks to Jim for sending this in. I really appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys to enjoy Christmas with your families. I go with mine. Merry Christmas and peace.